How big is big? A lot of us make data-driven business decisions, and I'm a great believer in deep diving into the data we have available about our audience. There is a huge wealth of information just waiting for us to dig up and use if it is done ethically. This is all available through what we now all call big data, but that got me thinking, just how big is big data? There are stories of how IBM rejected the idea that anyone would ever need as much as half a gigabyte of data storage, while in 1969 the onboard computer of the Apollo 11 moon landing craft had 2K of memory and 32K of storage. Now, of course, we have massively increased capacity just on our phones. So again, how big is big? Big data is so big that it's almost impossible to define because it's expanding so quickly. But it's measured by the 3 V's. Volume, the amount of data; velocity, the speed of data in and out; and variety, the range of data types and sources. A typical example of big data might be measured petabytes, that's 1024 terabytes, or exabytes, which is 1024 petabytes. And that can represent billions of records of millions of people, all from different sources, such as the web, medical records, sales, tax, and employment records, customer contacts, social media, mobile data, and so on. Just do the math. If it doesn't make your brain ache, for example, eBay has 2 data centers of 7.5 petabytes just for consumer recommendation and merchandising, and Twitter is responsible for over 90 million tweets per day, while Walmart deals with more than 1 million customer transactions every day. Yes, these figures really are big, but big data is going to get bigger. According to research by Gartner, over the next 5 years, data volume is set to grow by 800%. So much so that petabytes and exabytes are no longer enough to measure the exponential growth. And we now have new volumes to talk about: the zettabyte, which is 1000 exabytes, and the yottabyte, another 1000 for increase on the zettabyte. Now, it's guesstimated that humanity is creating new data at the rate of 2.3 trillion gigabytes per day. The figures are truly astronomical. Now, this is all fascinating stuff, especially if you are a computer scientist, but I'm a marketer, so what does big data mean to me? I'll tell you, it means opportunity, and here is why. I promise this will be the last number I hit you with. Of all the data we create, guess how much is actually analyzed? 0.5%. Only 0.5% of this vast treasure is actually used and leveraged. Only 0.5% of the incredibly precious information we can use to potentially target the perfect audience for our products and services. In my book, 6 Proven Steps to Attract ICO Investors, I make the point in virtually every chapter that knowing our audience is vital. Big data is one of the greatest tools we have. Big data also means big opportunity.